Freelancing. Don't find yourself alone. Previous clients, new clients, and other freelancers.
Welcome to Your Freelance Friends podcast. In this podcast, we're giving you tips and tricks on how to become a successful freelancer. We're here to guide you through your journey and share some of the things that we've learned along the way to save you time and headaches. Our goal is to provide you with information that you can use to give your clients the most value, whatever your niche or experience level is.
Exactly. So in today's podcast, we are going to talk about a topic that many people dislike and some people really like, which is networking. So we are going to talk about how do you network, how do you contact your previous clients, how do you network, how do you contact your new clients, and how you find yourself among other freelancers and how you contact them. So those are the three subtopics that we are going to cover. We hope that you will find it useful.
Yeah, exactly. I think I personally found it kind of hard to start the networking bubble when I was starting off as a freelancer, right? Because you're kind of working by yourself and you're not necessarily around other people. And you're so focused on really landing that first job that you may not necessarily think to reach out to previous employers or previous people that you've partnered with to find work. But that is actually an excellent way to kind of expand your network and possibly drum up new business.
Yes. Previous clients that you already worked with, either if you were employed, for example, and they were not really your clients, but they were co-workers or your bosses, you can always reach out to them if they have good experience with you, right? Especially if they have good experience with you. So even people in the corporate world, they sometimes need assistance, for example. They might need your knowledge, or maybe they know someone who will need it. And it's always good to kind of like let them know that you are around, let them know what you're doing, what you can help them with, and how easy it is to work with you. They are good people to start with. And I think that we can be surprised how many people actually will react. If we are good people and they know that we work well, they will come back and they will say, oh, maybe we can work together.
Definitely. When I first started freelancing, I think it was like my second client, really, because when we talked before about Upwork clients, my first one was Upwork, but my second one was actually someone that I had worked with previously as, employee, not necessarily employee-employer, but it just so happened that we worked together and they knew my style of work and they had a separate project. And, then they became, not necessarily an employer or an employee because it's freelancing, but it did open up the opportunity for me to snag a second contract without really doing much work on my end because they already knew about my work history. They knew my work style and all that stuff. So it really is a kind of quick way into the door. So not all the time, of course, but sometimes you can really get in quickly because these people already know your work styles and things like that. And then, of course, your new clients, always want to keep them in your network, always want to connect with them on LinkedIn. They may have some other people in their social network or professional network that might need some help. And again, these people are going to be familiar with your working styles once you've worked with them a few times, and they could definitely open up the door to a new client that way.
And also, even when you are already established freelancer and you, for example, you finished the project with someone and the project was successful, you finished, you did a good job, but there is just not anything for you to do anymore. You can come back to them after a few months, for example, after a few weeks, and just say, okay, I was just wondering, how is it going? How did this project finish, for example, or what are you doing? Do you need some help, right? Or I'm willing to help you, or I know someone who will help you. So these are good contacts to keep in your contact book, and just like send a message from time to time. Send them, I don't know, happy birthday if you know their birthday, right? If you holidays, Christmas message, whatever. It's good to keep them informed that you are still around, that you can help them.
Definitely.
And I used to contact my clients, even if I didn't expect any work with them, or I knew that they are not probably interested in working anymore with a freelancer, for example, or they don't need this help anymore. I just like to keep in touch with them. I think that this is like still continuing like relationship, even if it's not like business anymore. It's just like to stay in touch. I think it's something nice that they also appreciate. So where do you find the new clients there, and how do you contact them? when you are a freelancer.
Yeah, I think that's another very, very good point to make. So new clients for me personally, a lot of my new clients come off of Upwork because that's where I primarily am looking for jobs. But another great resource for looking for new clients where you can just peruse people's professional networks or professional profiles rather would be LinkedIn, right? Hundreds and thousands of profiles on there where you can just, click a button and connect with these people and maybe not necessarily land a job or some sort of gig right away with them, but then they can see as you're posting and get to know you and what you're doing on the business side, and that may drum up some business later. So, all work is not wasted.
Yeah. I think that some people think about like networking in terms of like cold calling, cold messages. I didn't used to do much of this, like, I don't know, direct emails or something. But I actually contacted quite a lot of people through LinkedIn. And for example, for us as an agency, LinkedIn is the only social media that we are on. We are not on Facebook so far. Well, we are on YouTube somehow. But in terms of like social media, like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, we are only on LinkedIn, and we just passed like 200 followers. And what I see is that our new clients who come to agency, they come through LinkedIn, they see our posts, then they click on the website, and then from website it's easy to contact us. So they just book a meeting or something. But it's this visibility in social media. It also gives you something. A lot of people do it through Facebook, for example. We decided to not go to Facebook. There is idea about Facebook, but LinkedIn is still the most, well, at least from our side, it's the social media that we use. And what I would say, if you are a single freelancer, if you don't work for agency, still build this like presence there. Make sure that your profile is good. And if you see that someone can be your client, just send a message. Don't say the connect only, but connect with add note there and say, oh, I'm whatever, let's say I'm a marketing person and I see that you have this small business and I thought that maybe I could help you. Maybe it's 1 hour per week, maybe it's 2 hours per week. It's very easy to start working with me. If you are interested, let's get in touch, right? So don't be afraid to send those messages. If they don't accept, they don't accept. It's sometimes It's a game of numbers, and 1 in 10 will accept and they will get a project. So if you are looking for those new clients through social media, just don't be afraid. Just put yourself out there, and send the messages.
Right. I think that's a very important thing to highlight, is to go ahead and send a personalized message with that, because, people get a lot of connections per day, but when you put that personalized touch in it, they're more inclined to respond to you directly. And then also to your point, what's the worst that could happen? They could say no. So it takes 2 minutes to, put out a personal message, and it could be quite lucrative for you. It could be a waste of time, but it's 2 minutes. It's not a lot of time you're spending on these connections. So very, very good points. So I guess the other pool for networking would be other freelancers, right? Which me and Anna have been doing now for, I guess, a little over a year now. But it's very important, I think, as a solo freelancer, and when you're kind of working by yourself, again, we forget that there's other people that do this. And we forget that it is important to, kind of talk to other people and see what they're doing. And also, when you're talking to other freelancers, you can help each other. If there's something I don't know, I can refer to Anna or somebody else on our team. But if you're just in your own little bubble, again, all by yourself, you have no support, to fall back on. So it's important to, kind of make some connections with other people, just kind of in your own little niche, in your own market, not necessarily that you're going to get jobs off of them, but just to kind of talk and network.
Yeah. So Rita just referred, if someone doesn't know, we never met personally. We just met through Upwork and through LinkedIn. And this is how we networked, right? And actually, I think out of our team, I just met personally just really few members. Our team just connected through Upwork, through messages, direct messages, and LinkedIn. And really, you are not alone. Like, there's thousands and thousands of people in your country, probably in any country that you live in. Well, maybe not in every country, but probably in your country, there's thousands of people who work as freelancers, and it's just good to connect. It's just good to stay in touch, to ask them if you have any problem, or help them when they have problems, right? And also share some tools. what I, for example, what I see, there's a lot of groups on Facebook for freelancers, and they just like share some projects. For example, Rita is getting a project, she cannot take it, or she doesn't want to take it, she can just share it with someone else, and this is how you also get to work. So you don't only get connections, you don't only get support, but you can also get new projects from those other freelancers. And what I would also like to say here, that we, for example, we stay in touch with our team members just through Slack, and this is how right now we have team Slack, and this is how we connect. And sometimes you just send like, happy Monday message, right? And it's even this, or also whatever, good book. We just share those things, even if we don't work on projects together. We can still stay in touch. We are still getting connected. We are still one team. If there are some announcements, we have it. And it's just this. It's just like a few messages, and you don't feel alone anymore. Mm-hmm. You are in network of people who work with you. And you can always turn off. And if you don't want to talk, you don't talk. But it's good to stay in touch, and it's good to stay in touch with your clients, previous clients, new clients, and freelancers. And I think this is all what we wanted to cover for today.
Yeah, exactly. Because one, it's just good to stay in contact with people in your space, and two, those contacts can lead to jobs, even from another freelancer who maybe doesn't have the time to do a job, and they can kick it back to you. So don't, bat your eyes at any of these. They're all good things to keep in your arsenal here.
Yeah. And this is actually how we started agency. And so far, so good.
Yeah.
So stay connected.
Yeah, really. Living proof.
Exactly. So stay tuned, stay connected, and bye.